coins and goodness knows what, and occasionally they find a great hoard of stuff. Baffled was the main reason, because it's something I would not knowingly throw away, and I couldn't. The only way it could have gotten the tip was that trailer load that stuff went from the garage. Yeah.
What do the medals mean to you, Rich?
Oh yeah, I do value them quite highly, but not as I would if they were for, heroic deeds, the DFC. But yeah, they are a memento that I was there and I did things. The stuff we'd thrown out had been in the garage for all the time we'd been in this house, and as far as I knew, it was stuff we probably would never need, but we couldn't find the time to search through the boxes, and I guess some of the boxes were thrown out without a very careful search, and how the medals could have been in one of those I shall never know, and of course I don't know what else might have been in there. The guy who drives the bulldozer in the pit, I dumped my rubbish quite late in the day, and he obviously didn't push it through for disposal, and before he went home he must have had a look round, and hey presto, amongst this mountain of rubbish, boxes and broken stuff, he finds my medals.
My colleague Brian, he got a message from the RSA, and the RSA said that the Richmond police had found or had been handed some medals from the dump, and asked if there was any inscriptions on the medals, whatever. So yes, they said there was an inscription. Okay, so they gave me the inscription. From there on, it was the case of, okay, well I'll wait till we get the medals, otherwise I could do a whole lot of work for nothing, and it might not come to anything, because the medals could have come from anywhere in the world. My initial thoughts in looking at them was it was somebody that had served in the RAF, either somebody from England, could have been a Kiwi that had served in the RAF and come back here. It could have been somebody that sent medals from England over here to a relative, or they could have been owned by somebody that had lost them for some reason. Whatever the case, my guess was that given there was a World War II, there was a good chance that that person might not be alive. So I thought, all right, well I'll start with the UK archives and see if I can get into any RAF records to see who this R.J. Clark was, because I didn't have any first names to go by. So I went to the archives, had a look. There's not a lot of RAF records that you can access online, and it's quite a pricey process to actually get records. So I needed a bit more lead-in before I went down that track. So then I looked at it and thought, okay, we've got a general service medal here. Now, our people certainly have served in those theatres, and because it had a Near East clasp, I know that some of our flying squadrons had been there. So it was a case of, well, this person could have been with the New Zealand Air Force. So I went down that track to see if there were any names that matched R.J. Clark, but there weren't. So next step was, right, let's do the obvious. Let's assume that this man might live in Nelson. So I dashed into the phone book, went through the phone book, no R.J. Clarks. Right, where to next? All right, let's spread the net a bit wider. So having looked all through the Tasman electoral rolls and phone books, I then went to Marlborough and through their electoral rolls and ultimately the phone book. The electoral rolls gave me one R.J. Clark in 1969. And as it turned out, you came out here in 66. So the first time R.J. Clark appeared, what was his job? Civil pilot.
Yes.
We had wings in the bag.
Clue.
Pilot. He's come and he's still flying, or he was flying at that stage.
Yeah.
So I had a look then at the records of. I checked all the cemeteries, Reg, you weren't there. So I checked the cemeteries, and then I looked at the marriage records. I looked at the other electoral rolls just to see just how far the names went, how long they, and they were still going in 1981 when the records shut off. So it was back to Blenheim, righto, and who else might have been living at that address? So I just went through all the Clarks until I found someone at the same address, and it happened to be Reg's ex-wife, Janet. So there was no RJ Clark, so my worst fears were Reg has passed away. Okay, possible. So anyway, I rang Janet and said, am I on the right track here? Have I got the right person? She said, you certainly have. And I said, has Reg passed away? And she said, oh no, he's living over in else. What under my nose? So anyway, as it turned out, Janet gave me contact details, and I rang and spoke to Reg's wife and Pat and Reg, and he was a bit staggered to hear that I had something that might have been his. So I went and asked the police station if I could borrow the medals and run them round here, so that the man could verify whether they were his or not. And sure enough, they were.
Yeah.
They were coming, and as far as I know, the daughter went and visited them.
Yeah.
Just on behalf of the family.
Yeah.
So that was really a nice outcome.
Yeah.
But gee, it took a long time, and it was Moore's level of difficulty that I kept pushing against the back. I just couldn't make any headway.
If you find the metal of an old medal,
Yeah.
it is possible to get a new piece of ribbon to put with it.
Oh yes.
Even if it's old Boer War stuff,
Oh yeah,
they're still,
yeah. There are a lot of ribbons that are mass produced out of Pakistan and China, and they're absolute garbage.
Yeah.
But the UK produces some very good reproduction metal.
Yeah.
So does Singapore, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. So there's some really good quality stuff, but there's nothing like the original, particularly